What's up guys, it's me Lego Paradise here, and today I'm going to show you my Lego space racing ship. So the idea was that this spaceship would go out and compete against similar spaceships in space races all across the galaxy. And there the concept for a space racing ship was born. So you can see the main shape of the ship is split into three sections. You have two wing and engine sections on either side of the cockpit in the middle. And this arrangement also makes the ship look kind of like the tip of a trident. And that's a pretty cool look. And you can see I've also used lots of these rounded and sloped pieces all throughout the build. And that gives it a really cool retro futuristic look. So you can see the main colour is of course orange, but it's split up with these light violet colour stripes down the sides of the wings and all the way around the front. And this adds a bit of contrast and makes it look a little bit more exciting. So you can see there's not much detail around the front. There's just a couple of headlights, because I chose to include headlights rather than weapons, because this is of course a more civilian style ship, and they wouldn't really have weapons, especially if it's competing in a space race. And you have a couple of air intakes built into the front of the engines on either side of the wings. And you can see how the shape is a little bit like a 50s style UFO design. This nice shaping continues all the way down to the bottom, where you can see I've used more of this light violet colour, just to add a bit more contrast between the orange. And I've used an upside down car roof piece in light violet to add a bit more shaping and add some space for the pilot of the ship to sit in. But we'll get back to the underneath of the ship in a little bit, because for now let's take a look at the cockpit in the centre, where the pilot of the space racing ship sits. And you can see I've used a bright green Lego Atlantis bubble cockpit section for this area, and that looks really cool. And that also means that to access the interior you just flip it up. And here you can see this reveals the interior space. And you've got a couple of basic controls to steer the ship and control the acceleration, a little radio in the centre, and then round the back there's a small luggage space. And you can see you can just take the pilot out, and this is where you can see how I've attached this upside down car roof piece. You can see these 1x1 plates that stick out into the interior are actually these 1x1 plates with these two stud attachments on the side, and I've attached them so they're on sideways horizontally, so that means I can clip the roof underneath upside down. And I thought that's just a pretty cool technique, and that's just an interesting way to attach it and add some shaping to even the bottom of the space racing ship. Then on the back of the ship you can see there's not that much detail, but it's still nice and sleek and aerodynamic. You can see I've included some tail lights on each of the wings to complement the headlights at the front, and some more of these cool printed pieces and really nicely shaped Lego orange slope pieces, because it's not often you get to use so many orange slopes in a single build. And then the only real last detail at the back is the actual engine, and this is represented by a small thruster that's just attached with a Technic pin, and you can see that spins round. And a cool unintentional feature that I've ended up making in my space racing ship is that you can actually spin the spaceship just by holding on to the thruster at the back, and this way you can sort of spin it and control it as if it's flying through space. And this is just quite a cool way of holding the ship and pretending it's flying. And then underneath there's not that much detail. You can just see more of the shape and how I've tried not to make it so it looks too bad underneath. And there's not that much detail apart from that light violet section that continues on, but I've also just included a small racing sponsor sticker underneath, just to again break up the orange and make it look a bit more interesting. Because of course, since this is a space racing ship, it should have a few sponsors that would want to advertise. So that was just a cool, quick little build that I thought I'd share with you guys. And if you liked my LEGO space racing ship, then don't forget to give the video a like, comment and subscribe for more. And I'll be back next time with some more LEGO creations. Thanks for watching.